first thing in this video, I'm going to give an idea about which option should you exactly decide. Like whether should I go for a software based job or a hardware based job. Now this again varies completely based on individuals. So I'm just trying to share my personal experience and opinions, but it may vary from individuals. Now the which one, because I don't really want you specifically select one kind of job role and you don't end up getting to a job, then that's really a waste of time. So if you analyze your skill set, then it becomes easy for you to put your efforts and time in a proper job role. Now how exactly you decide is it completely based on the skill set what you acquire. Now here mainly if you go with this basically software related jobs, the main skill set what you need to acquire is majorly like software programming or some kind of algorithms, coding, and those kind of things. So if you, and in that again there are different variations, like either you can do some developing in C++, I think maybe a Java developer. Even you have different streams like .NET professionals. There are different streams, like if you are a computer student, probably you know the different possible options. Now again in that again you can specifically select where you are good at probably, and again you need to make sure that you are very good at this thing. So it's not really good. So it's not just the programming, you can do some coding. At the same time, if there is a specific requirement, you should be in a position to develop some kind of coding. So if you are really good at these things, you can get into any kind of these roles. And which role, it totally depends upon the level of knowledge or understanding of the specific subject. And basically you need to try it out. That's something you need to decide. Even there is something called SQL database kind of thing. Again, that's something you need to explore. So in the initial videos I have given some list of things what you need to do. Like I've discussed, like picking the right career option. Probably I suggest you to go through with these points. Probably that will help you to understand where you are good at and what is the correct option you need to select. Again, the same case applies for this kind of job. So many people, generally when we say hardware related jobs, they generally think about hardware and networking, which is kind of a low kind of job probably. But again, when I talk about hardware, there are different variations. Like you got some networking kind of thing. I'll talk about more on this. Even you have a database related jobs. So where you are responsible for either developing specific hardwares, chip level. Again, for this also the same requirement. You need to have some good understanding of the chip level programming kind of thing. It's more like a chip level programming you need to understand in order to develop a specific hardware. Again, I can say it's a little bit more complicated than this kind of things. Software coding. Now again, hardware maintenance is something what majority of the people may get into. Now one of the main reason is because most of the below average or the average students, or even it can be an above average students, like one of the common thing you will find, like the people who generally scores around 50 to 65 or 75% or less than that. So one of the key issue is they are not really good at the programming. So I generally do counseling for many of my students. They have done their graduations, but at the end when you ask them what is in which course subject actually you are good at, but because they really find it difficult to get into programming kind of jobs. So if you really been into that category, then I do recommend you to get into any one of this. Again, in this there are variable tracks options you can select on, and I'll be covering some more videos later on, which mainly focuses on maintaining the networks and the scope of the networking, as well as the different job roles you will find into the networking.